Beloved by the masses and the stars of every party, chicken wings are the ultimate finger food. This week, we've been hard at work testing every method, tip, and trick to bring you the 3 most essential ways to make chicken wings. You can buy frozen wings, but we recommend getting fresh for the best taste. Either they come whole and you have to cut them, or you can get them pre-cut into flats and drums. They're a little bit cheaper when they're whole, but you do need to cut them. First, we're gonna cut off this cute little wingtip, save that for your stock. Then we're gonna find the joint. This gets a little tricky, but pull the wing apart and find that space right in between the flat and the drum. Your knife will go right through it without hitting any bone. And then you'll get a drum and a flat. Now that the wings are ready, let's start with our first recipe. We're making the classic buffalo chicken wings. Many consider this to be the iconic wing. You let us know. For these wings, we're using a method called wet brining. And when testing, we found that this made the juiciest chicken. Wet brining just requires 4 simple ingredients. It's water, salt, sugar, and vinegar. Most of these you probably already have in your kitchen. We'll combine all of those ingredients, and then we're gonna add some black pepper and some smashed garlic cloves just to add a punch of flavor. And then we'll add our chicken wings. Soaking your chicken wings in this brine helps the chicken absorb and retain moisture, so it keeps it really seasoned and juicy. Cover the bowl with plastic wrap and keep in the fridge for at least 2 hours, but if you can, do it overnight. I promise it will be worth it. Once you're ready to cook these, take them out of the brine and put them on a sheet tray and pat them really, really dry with paper towels. If you don't do this, the batter will have a hard time sticking to the chicken wings. And this way, the dredge will cling on evenly, making a perfectly crispy chicken wing. While the wings dry, fill a large pot over medium heat with canola oil. We like to use a Dutch oven because it holds the heat really evenly. This means the oil stays at a steady heat, so your wings fry up crisp instead of getting greasy. It's also deep and sturdy, which helps contain splatters and makes it safer to use. Just make sure you don't fill it up all the way because we don't want that oil spilling over. Next, we're gonna make our batter. The classic buffalo wing is deep fried with a crispy, flaky exterior. So first we tested with a traditional dredge, which is just dry, wet, dry, usually flour, eggs, flour. But this coating felt way too heavy for a small chicken wing, so we switched to a light, almost tempura-like batter made out of flour, potato starch, water, and vodka. This gives a thin, delicate, crispy shell that hugs the wing without overwhelming it. The potato starch, unlike flour, forms a more brittle crust that doesn't absorb the sauce as quickly, keeping the wing crispy longer. And vodka evaporates faster, making the crust lighter, airier, and crispier. In a large bowl, whisk together your ingredients until evenly combined. Now we're gonna dip our chicken wings in the batter, and you wanna do this in small batches so they're all evenly coated. And pro tip, let any of that excess batter drip off because we don't want that in our oil. Once your wings are coated, we're just gonna gently dip them into the oil. We're frying them at 350 degrees. Any lower, you'll end up with a greasy chicken wing, and if it's any higher, you can burn it and the chicken might be raw. You'll fry them for 8 to 10 minutes, making sure to flip halfway through. You'll know these are done when they're a beautiful golden brown and their internal temperature is 165 degrees. We're using what is called a spider. You can use tongs, but a spider will help gently lift the wings out of the oil without cracking that coating we worked so hard for. All right, these guys can go on a cooling rack just to drain any excess oil. Don't use paper towels for this because it's gonna trap steam and make your wings soggy. Now that we've made these super crispy, flavorful wings, we've got to make the sauce, which is just 3 ingredients: hot sauce, butter, and honey. In a small saucepan over low heat, combine the hot sauce with the honey. You'll whisk together until combined and warmed, and then we're gonna add in the butter. We're doing this in cubes, just a few at a time, so it emulsifies and incorporates evenly into the sauce. Once the sauce is looking glossy and thick, it's perfect, remove it from the heat. Pour it over the chicken wings in a large bowl and toss. There is a little art to tossing. You want to be gentle enough that you aren't ruining that crispy coating, but you also want to make sure each one is evenly coated. It might take a little practice, but the key is confidence. When it comes to serving, you gotta have carrots, celery, and ranch. Those are the rules. I don't know who made them. and it's a killer combo. But if you're looking for chicken wings that pack a punch of flavor but don't require deep frying, then these oven roasted lemon garlic Parmesan wings are for you. This time we're going to be doing a dry brine, which means no water. The stars of our brine are salt and baking powder. The salt pulls out moisture and then reabsorbs into the meat, seasoning it from the inside out. The baking powder is going to help the skin get crispy and brown. We'll combine salt, baking powder, lemon pepper, garlic powder, and onion powder in a small bowl. Add the wings and toss until evenly coated. Then transfer the wings to a wire rack and refrigerate uncovered for at least 12 hours or up to 24 until the wings look dry on the surface. It might sound weird to not cover them, but we need that air circulating around the wings to make sure that they really dry out. Next, spray a large wire rack with oil so the wings don't stick when cooking. Then arrange the wings evenly on the rack, making sure to leave a little bit of space in between each one. We're doing this on a wire rack so the hot air circulates all around the wings, making them crispy all over without a soggy bottom. All right, now it's time to roast them. Place them in the oven at 425 degrees for 35 to 40 minutes or until the internal temperature is 165 degrees. You want them to be browned and crispy. Just be sure to flip halfway through. Now it's time to get saucy. This garlic Parmesan sauce is butter-based like our other one, but it just has a few more ingredients. We'll start by melting the butter in a small saucepan over medium heat. Then add the garlic and cook until it's fragrant and softened, just about 2 to 3 minutes. Remove from the heat and transfer to a large bowl. Whisk in the water, mayonnaise, lemon pepper, lemon juice, Parmesan, and salt, just until it's smooth and glossy. I know it looks like a lot of ingredients, but you need every one. We'll add in our cooked wings and toss again with just as much finesse as you can muster. If you're afraid to toss these up in the air, you can also do this with tongs. I like to add some chives for color, but honestly, any herb works. These are the perfect appetizer for any occasion and they smell amazing. I really like these wings because they're very different from traditional buffalo wings. That salty Parmesan, bright lemon juice, and that pepper is just such a great combo. Now, if you're short on time, then these hot honey air fryer wings are going to be your best bet. They take less time than our other two recipes, but still give you some crispy wings that pack a ton of flavor. We're skipping the brine with these and we're just going to pat them dry with paper towels. You want to do this whenever you're cooking meat if you want a crispy skin, because if it's wet, it's never going to get crispy. We're going to toss these guys with a dry rub. This is going to get them crispy and add flavor. Ours is made with a combination of oil, salt, garlic powder, onion powder, paprika, cayenne, and our secret, baking powder. We already talked about this before. The baking powder is going to do the same thing here it did for the other wings. It's going to make them brown, it's going to dry out the skin, and helps them evenly crisp up. Next, we'll add in our chicken wings and toss. Just make sure each one is evenly coated in that dry rub. Place the wings in a preheated air fryer at 400 degrees. You want to make sure they're arranged in a single layer so they get evenly cooked. Make sure not to overcrowd your wings or they could steam instead of getting crispy. So cook in batches if needed. They're done when they're golden and crispy and the internal temperature is 165 degrees. This takes about 15 to 20 minutes. Just make sure you flip halfway through. Since we didn't do any type of brine for this wing, the sauce is really important to boost up the flavor. You can really add whatever sauce you like, but we opted for a hot honey sauce. We'll start by melting butter in a saucepan over medium heat. Then add the fresh ginger, garlic, and chili flakes. I like using fresh here because it just tastes better and more pungent, but you can also use the dried if you want. Cook this until fragrant, just about 30 seconds. Then stir in your hot honey, soy sauce, and a little bit of vinegar-based hot sauce. We like to add soy sauce for umami, and the vinegar-based hot sauce adds a little bit of sharpness. You want to cook it down until it's really thick and bubbling. It should be able to coat the back of a spoon just like this. It usually takes about 2 to 3 minutes on high heat. Transfer the cooked wings to a large bowl and pour the hot honey sauce over top, and then we're tossing again. By now, you should be a pro. Pile the wings onto a platter and serve hot, and garnish with some sesame seeds and scallions, because we really love a pop of green over here at Tasty. And there you have it, 3 essential ways to make chicken wings. Deep fried for that classic chicken wing bite, oven roasted for a lighter take, and air frying if you just don't have the time. What is your favorite way to make wings? Let us know in the comments, and you can find all 3 of these recipes at tasty.co.